History of Ottoman Turks. From the beginning of their empire to the present time. Preface. Having been requested to prepare a second edition of this work, which has long been out of print, I have made in many corrections and some curtailments. I have added a few pages as to events subsequent to the Crimean War, but these are written with studious brevity. The book, as I stated when it first appeared, is chiefly founded on von Hammer. I have also carefully sought information from Knowles, Reichardt, Menteculli, Rowe, Henway, Manstein, de Orson, Thornton, Eaton, Ubici, Porter, Marmont, Sir Smith, Colchesney, Urquhart, Moltke, Hamel, Sismondi, Ranke, Finali, Tricopi, Campbell, Bosworth, Smith, and others. I have also availed myself of the fragmentary wealth that lies heaped up in the back numbers of our periodical literature. The indices of both the Quarterly and the Edinburgh point out several articles on Turkish subjects from which I have repeatedly gained intelligence and warnings. I have also consulted some admirable papers entitled Chapters on Turkish History, which were contributed about 30 years ago to Blackwood by the late Mr. Halm, a profound Oriental scholar, and a writer of such taste and vigor that if he had lived to complete the work, partitions of which were then sketched out by him, a full, accurate, and brilliant history of the Turks would have caused to be one of the desiderata in our literature. Von Hammer's History of the Ottoman Empire will always be the standard European book on the subject. That history was the result of the labors of 30 years, during which von Hammer explored, in addition to the authorities which his predecessors had made use of, the numerous works of the Turkish and other Oriental writers on the Ottoman history, and other rich sources of intelligence which are to be found in the archives of Venice, Austria, and other states that have been involved in relations of hostility and amity with the Sublime Porte. Von Hammer's long residence in the East, and his familiarity with the institutions and habits, as well as with the language and the literature of the Turk, give an additional attractiveness and value to his volumes. His learning is accurate as it is varied. His honesty and candor are unquestioned, and his history is certainly one of the best productions of the first half of our century. This great work has never been translated into English. Its length has probably caused it to be thus neglected, while the historical productions of other German writers thought of less merit have been eagerly translated and extensively read in this country. The first edition of von Hammer, published at Pest, consists of 10 thick, closely printed volumes. The second and smaller edition occupies 4. This second edition omits the notes of observations, many of which are highly instructive and valuable, and von Hammer does not bring the Turkish history lower down than to the Treaty of Kaynarca, 1774. A translation of his entire work with a continuation of equal occupiedness would make up at least 20 octavo volumes, such as are usually printed in this country. Both writers and publishers have evidently feared that such a work would lack readers among our busy and practical population. I have not made a mere abridgment of von Hammer, but I have sought to write an independent work, for which his volumes have supplied me with the largest store of materials. In using them, I have arranged and amplified and omitted and added at discretion, so as to assume general responsibility for comments and opinions. Where I have adopted those of von Hammer, I have generally referred to him as their author. My intention was always to do so, but there may be instances where this has been omitted. The reference to the page of von Hammer in the notes apply to the second edition of German. Resi.